Hi there, this is Amanda from Juma Health and Yoga, and we've just finished our last class for this first block of 2021. And I thought I'd just kind of break down a little bit of what we did and offer it out there into the world of lockdowns and COVID and that kind of thing as a shorter kind of restorative practice. Sometimes we see restorative practices being something that's static and not moving, but some really slow, mindful movement can be very helpful in mobilizing some of that energy that might be a little stuck and a little fearful at this time in our world. So I know for me that when we've just come out of where we're coming out of a 3-day lockdown in a couple of hours, and I know for me, when they first mentioned the idea of lockdown, my breath got a little shorter and I started feeling tired because of all the news that I was seeing. So, this is just a little something that you could do anytime when your energy levels feel a little low, and maybe when you're feeling like you need to bring the mind into some semblance of focus. So, you don't really need much, but a bolster would be helpful, or a rolled up blanket or two, or some cushions could be helpful. Maybe a blanket on your mat, and maybe a little cushion or a blanket to put under your head in the second part of what we're doing. So let's start on our back in a supine position. And I'm going to join you, so hopefully my audio stays in and you can hear me really well. So we're going to come onto our back and just lay in Shavasana for the start of our movement. And so, when we do a normal class, for me, that's an hour and a half. So, we're going to pack in a little bit here, hopefully not too much. So maybe start by rolling your head just a little side to side and find center for your head to rest, so that your head and neck are in line with the rest of your spine. And your arms and your legs are feeling a sense of symmetry. So they're kind of feeding off the body in a fairly an even way. And then let your body drop, as T.S. Little suggests. Let the bones drop right where you are. And just turn all of your attention inside. And that might mean starting with the breath. There could be something inside that's pulling your attention there. And imagine for a moment that this bag of skin is like a great big balloon, and you're going to breathe in and fill the balloon up. And as you breathe out, you're letting go of all the breath, all the air out of the balloon. And as you breathe in, you're remembering not to overfill the balloon, because we don't want it to burst. And as you breathe out, you're letting go right until the last drop of breath is out. One more breath, just like that. Good. And now direct your attention down into your hands. And just feel the sensation that is alive in your hands right now. It might be your fingers, the palms of your hands. You might be feeling it at the surface or deeper into the layers of the tissue of the skin and the tissues of your hands. And then start to take an inhale and find a little bit of a clench of your fist. And hold the clench and hold the breath for a moment. And then exhale and let go of the breath and let go of the hands, just like they're unfurling like the petals of a flower. Inhale again, create the tight fist and hold. And then exhale and allow your fingers to very easily unfurl. And then one more, inhale and clench. And exhale and let that go and feel like that tension that you were holding in your hands is just lifting off your hands and out of your body now. Like a light, loose mist, just fading away into the vapor. And then just considering the internal flavor or rasa within the body right now. Noticing if you feel tired or energized or nervous, or there might be something that happened just before you press play here. Just kind of bring yourself here into this moment and ask yourself, what would serve me best right now? And now take a deeper breath. And start to wriggle your fingers and your toes, and you might point your toes away, and you might create circles with your wrists. And then start to drag one heel in towards one buttock and the other heel in. And then pop your knees into your chest and maybe have a little bit of a bounce. And then let's just start to count the breath a little, because that can be really helpful when our mind is like a chariot that races off. So counting the breath can be really helpful. So we're going to inhale 1, 2, 3, letting the knees move away. And then we're going to exhale and draw the knees into the chest. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more of those. Inhaling for 3. Knees move away from the chest. Exhaling for 4. And the knees move back in towards the chest. And then give a little rock from side to side. And you might, just go side to side, or you might create some side-on figure eights as you massage your lower back on the mat. And you might take those figure eights back in the opposite direction. That's it. And then nice and slow, we are going to roll to our left side. So you're going to have your left arm straight out to the side. And if you need a little cushion here, what you could do is put a blanket or a cushion under your head. Left arm straight out, right hand on top, knees are at a right angle. So we're going to inhale and start to tickle the inside of our left arm. And we're going to bring our right fingertips to our heart. And then we're going to exhale and take our fingertips back to our left fingertips. So we're going to inhale, opening up the chest a little, and then we're exhaling and taking the hand back. And just one more of those. Inhale. And exhale. So if you wanted to, you could pause the video there. We did about 7 or 8 of those in class today. You could keep going with that if you wanted to. But let's take this to a different level. So we're going to take our right index finger onto the floor, and we're going to inhale that right index finger all the way above us in an arc. opening our chest to the right. And then we're going to exhale and take this fingertip all the way back on the floor and bring your right hand on top of your left. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling. Opening the chest. Doesn't matter if the knees lift off one another. Exhaling and floating that hand back through space. And then one more. Inhale. And exhale. And let the right palm rest on the left, and you might even draw the hands in and snuggle in the fetal position for a moment. And then what you could do from here is take your arms back out and inhale, start to lift your right arm up and your right knee up, and then start to track all the way over on your right side. And you could do that in the middle a couple of times, inhaling, lifting the left knee and the left arm, and then exhaling, right hand and knee come down. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. That's it. And then we're going to inhale up and exhale all the way over to the right. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So, readjust. You might need to come back onto your mat a little bit, bend the knees. This time your left hand is on top of your right, and you're going to tickle your right inner arm as you inhale your fingertips to your heart. And then you exhale and take your fingertips and tickle all the way back out. And then inhale. And you're looking straight up at the ceiling, and then exhale. And then one more. Inhale. Exhale. And you know what's coming next. Left index finger on the ground, and you inhale up in an arc all the way above your head and open to the left this time. So make it easy. So if there's a part of your body that doesn't feel quite so easeful, prop it up. Give your left shoulder a little bit of comfort by offering it a pillow. Inhale to open. And exhale and gently, gently float back. Inhale and open. And exhale and slowly float those fingertips back, and then pull them into your chest and just lay here in the fetal position for a moment, pausing to feel all of the sensations that are alive in your arms, your hands, your chest. And then nice and slow, take your left hand down onto the floor and press yourself up to a kneeling position. Now, this might not work for everybody, and so what you could do is you could be sitting on a chair for this part of the practice. This is a part of the practice that can really help to open up our lungs. So we're going to take our hands, like I said, you can sit on a chair for this part of the practice. We're going to take our hands onto the floor, fingers spread nice and wide. And for a moment, we're going to tuck our chin in just a tad. So we've got a nice long neck. And now we're going to be directing our breath into the lowest lobes of our lungs. So we're going to inhale here and look slightly forward. And then we're going to exhale and pull in through the navel and round our lower back. Then inhale, looking forward onto the mat, and then exhale, pull in through the navel and round the lowest part of your back, and then inhale one more time. And exhale and round. And then nice and slow, bring your spine into alignment, head and neck into alignment, and just direct your breath down into the lowest part of your lungs, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. Breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. Good. Now drag your hands back, and now you're on spider fingers. So here we're going to breathe into the middle lobes of the lungs. Spider fingers are on the mat. And so head and neck is in line with the spine to begin with, and we inhale and look slightly forward. And then exhale, and we're rounding the back, drawing the navel to spine, and really directing our attention into the middle of the back door of the heart. Inhale, open, look slightly forward. And exhale and round. Inhale and just gently looking slightly forward. And exhaling round. Inhale and bring your hands to your knees. And then slide them up to your chest. And maybe you've got your fingertips on your collarbones. And we're just going to inhale into the upper part of our chest and look slightly up. And then exhale and just cave in the upper part of the chest. So we're rounding the shoulders forward. And then inhale, lifting your heart and your chest to the sky. And then exhale. And then one more. Inhale and lift and open. And exhale. Good. We're going to inhale and find neutral. And, you just sit for a moment and kind of feel into what you're marinating into right now. And then from here, we're going to go deeper into opening up the lobes of the lungs. So here's where you need to have your bolster or your rolled up blanket, and that will be really helpful. And we're going to start on the left side again. So we're coming onto the left side, and the bolster or the blanket roll needs to be underneath the outer part of the breast. So if you've had anything going on with the breast, you need to be really careful around that tissue. You don't want to put too much pressure on that area. So this might not be for you, but it could work really well for really marinating that area in fresh new chi, fresh new prana. So you be the judge of that. You're your best judge. So we're going to take our left side onto the bolster, and our left arm is going to stick out, okay? Just like we did before, left arm is out, left shoulder is on the mat, and you might want to roll your blanket roll up so that your head is supported. So from here, left knee is at a right angle, and your right big toe is going to slide back behind you to the back edge of your mat, because we want to have this right side nice and open. Now inhale your right arm up to the sky, and exhale, float the fingertips down onto the floor, and they might come onto your blanket roll or your cushion. The more supported you are, the better it's going to feel. So really open up here. Open up to the right rib cage, all the little intercostal muscles, those little tiny muscles between your ribs, and start to breathe in there. Notice where you're feeling the breath. Notice where you're being aware of tightness or tension. And just see if you can take an easy breath into the right lung. Maybe into the right lower quadrant of the abdomen, deep down near that right hip joint. And you might even take a breath back there into your right kidney and that right quadratus lumborum muscle, the right side of your lower back. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling and emptying that right side of the body. And you could stay here for as long as you like. But for the purpose of this video, we're just gently going to inhale and then exhale. Start to bend your right knee and your right elbow and draw them towards one another. You're just going to slide them toward one another. They're not going to reach each other, but we're going to lay here in a little bit of a fetal position for a moment. You might take a nice soft breath in through both of your nostrils. And exhale out of your mouth. And then when you're ready, use your right hand to press it into the mat. Nice wide fingers. Inhale, press up. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So take your hands onto your bolster or your blanket roll. And then flip to your left hip. And you might need to adjust your blanket. But remember, what you want to have is that right side of the breast, that right side of the chest on the blanket or on your bolster. And then you're going to let that right arm slide through, and your right knee is at a right angle. So right arm is straight through, palm face up. Your right knee is at a right angle, and then you're going to slide that left big toe back behind you to the bottom corner of your mat. And then inhale, lift the left arm up to the sky, and then exhale, float it all the way over onto the floor. Now, you might need to readjust your blanket under your head, and feel free to do that. And then as soon as you find this lovely level of comfort in opening up to this deliciousness, start to find your way, meander your way to your left rib cage and your left lung. And just kind of explore spaciousness. Explore that idea of the body being spacious and earthy all at the same time. So you've got some density, and then you've got some wide open areas within the body. Feeling the intercostal muscles becoming more elastic. And then maybe feeding the breath down into that lower left-hand quadrant of the belly. Maybe into the left-hand side of the lower back. Just seeing how much here you can let go. Letting go deeply into support.
One more deep breath in here. And if you want to pause the video here, you can, but if not, start to bend and soften that left knee and drag the foot along the floor and bend your left elbow and just bring elbow and knee toward one another, but they're not going to touch. Pausing here in the fetal position. Maybe a nice soft breath in through both of your nostrils. Exhaling out of your mouth. And then use your left hand to press you up. And let's finish by coming into a seated position. So you might grab your bolster and sit up on your bolster. And you might cross your legs, or you could have your legs straight out, or you could be seated in a chair. And then just take your hands onto your knees and sit up nice and tall, sensing the sit bones descending down into the support beneath you, and sensing into the space that is all around your head, all around your body, reaching out to infinity. And feel into that very stable, earthy base. You might even sense your attention moving into the core of the earth. And feel this being, this you, right here in the middle of all of that absolute magnificence. And turn all of that magnificence right into the lotus in your heart. Bring your hands together at your heart. Open up the lotus flower of your hands. Take a nice, smooth breath in, breathing in the aroma of your own earthly and spacious heart. Closing the palms. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a nice day. Bye for now.